Friends, family, fans, we are live? Question mark? Hello, what's up? It's back 9 bits, buddy boys and girls. We've got some farmers insurance going on this week. We've got some outrights, we've got some placements, we've got some deep dives for DFS. We're going to do a bit of research for round one leaders. Once those come out, I've got it all for you guys. I have got it all for you guys. I'm going to need to know if this is actually indeed live because something weird happened as I went live. So I'm actually just going to go double check that this is the case. There we go. Okay, beautiful. Brown Mamba. I haven't seen you in the chat for much, but good to see you, my brother. Let's go. Right off the top rope here. Last week, we had Tom Hoagie top 50, top 5 for 50 to 1. Tom Hoagie to win 600 to 1. Finished T8. And we got chopped. Got chopped hard for that T8 from 25 to 1 to like 12 to 1. Brutal stuff, but we cashed the top 20 plus 1,300. It was good. So we got some fun bets this week. Ego Waffles in the chat. What's up, my brother? Let's have ourselves an absolute banger. Lost 2 units last week with some live ads, some random stuff. We swinging for the fences. We're doing a lot of leader bets, which I put in my Patreon Discord when we place those after each round using my showdown data and kind of just find guys like Patrick Cantley last week to try and finish the round in the lead on a golf course that really suited his game in round 3 when he plays well. You know, we kind of use all these different metrics to jump around and put them together to find leaders. We had S.H. Kim show up for us in the first round leader market on one of the golf courses, but he was tied with Scotty Scheffler, so we only made like 3 units instead of 10. One of those weeks, it's okay. Farmers, let's party. Boom. Here's the tools. I'm going to walk you through everything that you can find here on the Model Maniac Patreon/Mayo Media. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe while you guys are doing that. Please, here is the tool. This week, let's start with the micro model, which is going to help us figure out what exactly the hell is going on this golf course. So we can move the under construction tab. It was a little under construction earlier. It's been a week. Having an infant, not an infant, like a 1-year-old that's throwing up and pooping everywhere. You're all hands on deck all the time. The washing machine has been going on. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's been a bit of a weird week for me. We're getting there. JJ Spahn shows up here, obviously, as the second best option in the course fit. That's no surprise. The ball striking numbers for him are going to just pop hard all the time. We'll chat about him shortly. But on the golf course for the South Course, we have got 2 courses. So before we even get to the micro model, we got to go to the course history. That's the finishing positions for you guys. But we want the course rotations where you can find every single round that they've played on each of these courses since 2021. And use that for your own information, however you want. This is all part of the Model Maniac Patreon. Check it out. So here we are. We got the North Course, which typically plays significantly easier than the South Course. And as a result, we're going to be able to look at seeing who the course difficulty heroes are at this venue. If you want to take a look at some guys that have good course history on the North Course, you can filter here by weighted easy scoring, which is when the scoring average for that round is 1.5 under par for the field. So North Course is typically like that. So you can check out like Rasmus Niergaard Peterson, Garrett Kigo, Shipley Coody, Norin, Adrian Demont, Chachart. Patrick Cantley loves himself a nice, easy round of golf here and there. So check him out on the North Course if you are so inclined. Then if you're looking for the South Course, guys, they are going to be playing over par all week long. I believe I have the course difficulty somewhere. I might have deleted it. But what I was showing y'all is the fact that this course plays significantly over par. We're looking for hellish conditions, scoring averages, strokes gained in those conditions. And Adrian Sadier, most of the DP World Tour guys are going to be showing up here. They played a lot of hard golf courses back on the DP World Tour. If you take a look at the stats here, like the first 4 guys, look at all of these hellish conditions over here. We've got 31 plus rounds from all of these dudes on these hard conditions. Then if you find like some Corn Ferry Tour guys, they don't even come close to even matching the hellish conditions with hard and hellish. It's all medium and easy for these dudes. Pearson Cootie's played like a million easy golf courses the last little while. So that's kind of the breakdown for the golf course this week. If you're looking for long iron play, we're going to take a look at the micro model here. The average approach yardage this week is 190 yards for JJ Spahn. For Patrick Cantley, it's 188. For Xander Schauffele, it's 186. So we're going to see how it all goes along, having a good time out here and plugging away. We've got the 4 par 5s going on this golf course, which is important to score on this venue. Some of them you can't even get there in 2 because they are lengthy. These are long-ass golf courses. So big hitters, guys that thrive from 200 plus. Oh, another tool that you can find in the Model Maniac Patreon is the strokes gained approach via various buckets. Here are the guys that thrive from 200 plus out the fairway. We have got 150 and out of the rough as well in this column. We can filter on that here shortly. But so far, we are looking at names like Marco Penge, who's got a limited sample size, but 28 shots to be exact from 200 out over the last 12 years in Data Golf's database. But guys that we know have got good volume. Akshay Bhatia, Hideki Matsuyama, Lee Hodges. Saw someone chatting about him in the Discord. Shout out to you. PST, whatever your name is. I've never been able to pronounce your name. I've always seen it as like Porn State, which is horrible. But you know who you are. Hideki, Lee Hodges, Ryan Gerard. We've got Nikolai Højgaard, JJ Spahn. Sorry, I'm a little annoying today. It's been a day. Relieving a lot of anxiety out of me as we're doing this, So this is what we're getting up here. Siwoo Kim, a great long iron player, Xander Schauffele, Mark Hubbard, Kevin Roy, all those boys. You can find them over here for us. If you're going to be just mashing driver and trying to get out of the thick rough, now, I don't know if the rough is applicable to every single situation. Let's take a look at strokes gained. Let's get green regulation rates out of the rough from 150 yards and beyond. We are looking for guys like Haotong Lee on the DP World Tour. He's been playing fantastic. He does a lot of good work in that department. Justin Rose out of the rough. It's a lot of green regulations. By the way, these rankings are for the full database I have. So like starting at 6 means there's 5 other guys that are better on the PGA Tour out of the rough from 150 yards and out. So you can kind of get a good feel for it there. I don't know why I did it that way. It is just what's going on. So other names, Charlie Hoffman, given he had a cyst in his back that was bigger than a baseball but smaller than a softball that they had removed for him, which is absurd. That's a massive cyst. Massive cyst. So Charlie Hoffman making his way back downtown, walking fast, no cyst in his back. Shout out White Chicks, one of the best movies I've ever watched in a long time. Luke Clatton, Mark Hubbard, Matt McCarty, Michael Kim not playing this week. I'll get him out of here on this tab here too, but he is out of the main model, so don't worry about that. Patrick Candy, Chris Gotterup, all these kind of guys that make tons of sense. Shout out our boy Chris Gotterup, doing good work. Then on the model, we can find ourselves guys that are trending the last little while. I've got all these tabs for you guys. Go check it out in the Model Maniac Discord. Use code FARM26 for 50% off your first month over in the Model Maniac Patreon/Discord. We are also going to be doing a launch for the Patreon for those of you that have reached out asking for either the live bets and stuff I do as the tournament unfolds to get all my odds and bets as I make them on Monday mornings, and my tools and my DFS and best ball. We're going to have those as various different packages that you can get yourself at the Patreon if you are interested in only one certain spot. Some guys don't want to tail the bets. They just want the information, the tools. Come just get the tools over there. If you want just the bets, you can get just the bets as we're placing them live as we go. If you want just DFS, we've got pre-tournament stuff, and then I do round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4 showdown. You got to make sure that you have the round 1 showdown in play this week with the North Course, because people are going to be playing South Course guys. And as a result, we will have free rake in those showdown contests. So shout out to Pat. We won like 21K last year. So fun stuff there. This is the prorated strokes gain, which means if you take a look at this total column versus the prorated, here's Jason Day. I'm just taking these 4 boxes for the total column and getting an average for them. Simple as that. Now, Jason Day, this 3 strokes gained is only the 4 rounds at the Amex. So when it comes to prorated, he's got, say, like over 100 rounds for these other boxes over here. Only 3% of that is going to be from Amex. So as you can see, he's losing 0.3 strokes when you prorate it versus just go raw, raw dogging and the strokes gains you. But Jason Day pops hard because this kind of helps you see, okay, who's really shown up recently. Maybe someone's got a bad baseline that's kind of found their groove this year. So in 2026, if you want to take a peek at that, you can find all of these guys. These are the best total strokes gainers over here. Then we can take a look at recent finishes. You can kind of go through this. This is all just raw data, stuff like that for you, but it's all over here. You can go and take a look and see whatever the hell this guy finished. I'll get this nice and frozen for you. We got the trenders there. We got the course history. We got the course difficulty. And I've also added the best bets. We've got best bets for you guys over here based off of, we are going to actually go real quick, removing the screen. Who is the most profitable golfer to have returned $100 every single time you've bet them in every single market, every time they play golf? There is a name on the top of this list that you might have seen if you were paying attention. If you aren't, too bad. But who is the golfer that returns you the most dollars across all markets? Win, top 5, top 10, top 20. Hit me up right now, giving out a free month in the Model Maniac Patreon. First comment to get it correct, I'll make it even the top 3 names. First person to get one of the top 3 or 5 names, we are going to be getting you in the Model Maniac Patreon for free for a month. So let me know who it is. Don't know who it is, but it is certainly not Patrick Cantley. That is a very good point. And Patrick Cantley, while you guys are doing your quick little contest situation here, Patrick Cantley, he has lost you a total of $1,115 in the last 12 months, which is not good. Chad Candles, we are talking about golfers in this field. Fire off again. We don't care about Scotty Scheffler last week. We only care about this week. Scotty's in our rearview mirror. So that's what's cooking over here. Patrick Cantley, not good at all. Lost you over $1,000 trying to win $100 every single time. The biggest issue being the top 10 bets for him. He just barely finishes inside the top 10. Jason Day is not going to be one of them. Come on, Ego Waffles. Jason Day, if I scroll down, it's been bad. I'm not seeing him anywhere remotely close. Yeah, Jason Day's lost you $74. No good. So that's it. Also, I'm not going to wait around any longer. You guys missed the boat. We'll maybe do another one. Johnny saying Ryan Gerard. Let's take a look here and see if it's Ryan Gerard or not. Nope. No Ryan Gerard. Ryan Gerard took a little while to get his groove together. If we go over to the model, we can find old Ryan Gerard for ourselves. Going from there. The contest is now closed. You guys are taking way too long. You are taking way too long. So we're going to filter by strokes total returned over here. Garrick Higo is the name I was looking for you guys to tell me. He finds himself having checked 4 boxes that we've kind of just gone through right now. And he's profitable in all the markets. Obviously, a winner last year. He is there. I'm very tempted to play him this week in some capacity. Definitely in DFS for sure. I think he's giving you massive spike potential. So some fun names at the top of the board. Cameron Young doing wonderful stuff. If we just take a look at what Cameron Young has got up to. He has Ryan Gerard, by the way, for someone that mentioned Ryan Gerard. This is the tool available to you guys in the Model Maniac Patreon. You can go and take a look. Since 2025, what's Ryan Gerard done here? I think it's a way to kind of navigate the betting market, finding guys that play certain markets better than others. And Ryan Gerard, since then, has been quite profitable in the top 5 and top 10. His top 20 market has been rather rough. I mean, this is Sony from 2025. If we filter by the most recent dates, you can see it. Like he's kind of found his groove the last little while. And as a result, getting some 2026 numbers, I mean, it's just skyscrapers for days. There's only 2 tournaments and he's top 5, all of them. Unbelievable. Finished second in all 3. So that's how you can kind of use this tool to kind of figure stuff out for yourselves, going through all of that and just taking a look. And you can usually see the correlations between the finishing position rates here and the returns in dollar amounts over here. So that's basically the whole shebang. 15 minutes into the show, have no idea where we were going here. But now you've got a whole bunch of information that previewed what we're going to be getting into. Let's talk about some bets. We've got 8 outrights this week with multiple top fives and each ways associated with all of them. I'm going to go and click over here and say, JJ Spawn, get yourself over to the window, my friend. You are somebody that checks 3 boxes in this field, the boxes that we are looking for this week. Hellish scoring conditions. We just kind of went all over all this stuff. Hellish scoring conditions, the micro model ranking, the strokes gained over the last 12, 8, 4, and 2026. We are looking for course history here. We are looking for total finishing positions, which if you filter by this box over here, you can see, okay, these are the guys that have a lot of high-end finishes through win top 5, top 10, top 20, top 30, top 40, made cuts. Add all those together and you can see what the total is here to kind of get a good, well-rounded golfer. Patrick Candy, Marco Penn, Xander, all of those guys in there. And then the model rankings, as we go through there, you can see our top model guys. So that's what's cooking. JJ Spawn finds himself second to Xander Schauffele in the model. What really hurt JJ Spawn's rating, if we scoot over here, look at this information available to you guys. If you take a look at, by the time the courses come out, I'll get this plugged in here for round 1 and round 2 so we know. North course, good. Showdown. South course, not so good not good at all for showdown. Do not click names there. When we're taking a look at the course history here, though, JJ Spawn has typically struggled around the South course, but we're not going to worry too much. We're going to go ahead here and make sure that maybe JJ Spawn has found his groove, because since he's been healthy, things have been significantly better. I'm not going to worry too much about that overall course history, because last year in his 15th place finish, we were solid. We were doing some good work. We gained 7.4 strokes on the field. We finished 15th. I love that for him. It's an average of 1.9 strokes per round. We struggled in round 1 a little bit at the South, but kind of got it together as the week unfolded. So JJ Spawn, absolutely in play this week, 33-1 with the 6 places for a top 5. If we go back to the model over here, he has been inside the top 5 a ridiculous 22% of the time. It's one of the better rates in this field. We've got Chris Wrighton and Gary Higo with the only 2 better top 5 rates. And this includes DP, KFT, and PGA. So Higo went to South Africa, finished some good stuff there. Obviously, Wrighton won at the Nedbank when he played there. So you can see all of that here in the more recent history here for the guys. JJ Spawn, back to his situation. When it comes to his total profile, he's second in the field. He's 6th in the world, I believe. Xander Schauffele is 5th. He's 33-1 in a field like this. I don't understand the odds. I don't understand why he's priced this way. It makes no sense to me. He's a fantastic iron player across the board. If we take a look at his micro model breakdown here, green regulation rates is going to be top 5 in this field. Strokes gained approach, same situation. He's fantastic through the bag, from wedges all the way to long irons. Not a lot of guys can proclaim that they are. Some guys are really better at certain areas than others. So JJ Spawn being solid across the board is very, very enticing for me. If we take a look at what's going on with JJ's other areas of his game, not necessarily the greatest putter and doesn't have, he's got field average driving distance. It is what it is. But he does hit a lot more fairways than you'd imagine, given that kind of middle of the road distance. The around the green game solid. The putting is iffy. It comes and it goes. We don't know when it will, when it won't. So as a result, I'll just be playing JJ Spawn at these ridiculous numbers, in my opinion, all year long. I bet him at the Sony as well, somewhere in the 30s, I think. We can go and take a look even in the Discord where I've got all my bets that I've placed every single week. You can go and see what we bet him at, that kind of stuff. Or you can go over here and you go JJ Spawn, see what the odds were, and off we go. We can actually do that right now. Let's just reset these filters. Let's go Spawn, Sapon, Spawn. Get JJ in here. Click 2025. Let's see what his win market numbers were. All right. Why is JJ Spawn not in the win? Oh, that's 2025. We won 2026. Where's his win market? What have I done here, people? We are having a malfunction. There we go. All right. I don't know if I put the winners in. Oh, I didn't. I didn't put the winners in. Yeah. Okay. Yucky. Good way to kind of embarrass yourself on stream here, Byron. Back to JJ Spawn. We're just waiting for the putter to show up, basically. The ball striking's there. When we went to Oakmont and won the US Open there, he putted fantastically. That's all I have to tell you guys. The number is nuts. He's a fantastic golfer. Without Tommy Fleetwood and Rory McIlroy last year in playoffs, which he lost to both at the Players and the FedEx St. Jude, JJ Spawn would have had a US Open, a Players, and a playoff event to his name in 2025. Now we're giving him 33-1 odds around a golf course he finished 15th at last year. Let's go. I'm all for this. The disrespect is real. Top 5 market for JJ Spawn has been paying off intensely over the last 12 months. So go and check that out if you're not in the mood to bet him to win. A top 5 is definitely something you should be contemplating for yourself. JJ Spawn, ladies and gentlemen, checking in on some comments now. You can't embarrass yourself when you're a god. Brian, you know what? Message me on X, free membership for you on the Model Maniac Patreon. God said thank you. I appreciate you, my friend. What is it about Spawn that makes people not want to play? I don't know. What is it? What is the deal with that? Do you think it's because he's short? Do you think it's because he sounds like a chipmunk when he speaks? Is it because he was sponsored by some lazy boy chair company? I don't know. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that we take advantage of it. And as a result, we are 33-1, JJ Spawn, 6 places, Bet Rivers. Go check it out. I think there's 30s out there right now. Next up, Ryan Gerard. I'm not going to go too crazy over this. I'm just going to go best finishes in the last little while. Sort by A to Z. Ryan Gerard will show up quite quickly. So far in the field, if we take a look at recent performances since, say, the Australian Open, calendar-wise, these are the best finishes in the last couple starts. We want to make sure we comprehend everything that's been played around the world. And as a result, we've got Chris Gotterup having won the Sony. We've got AJ Uart winning the PGA Q School. So shout out to AJ for making his way onto the PGA Tour at $6,000 flat. No percentage points for his ownership. Fun times. Did finish 44th, by the way, at the Amex. Interesting to note. And missed the cut at the Sony. But getting back to Ryan Gerard, if we just did his stuff, look at this. He's only got second place finishes in the last couple starts. That's absurd. Is it going to happen anymore? Probably not. But again, the motto for 2025 was 2026, sorry. The motto for 2025 was get cute. The motto for 2026 is don't get cute. If somebody's finishing second, why are we not going to be playing this guy to win the tournament at 52-1? Drop that in the Model Maniac Discord on Monday morning early. We were waiting for that number. 50-1 seemed very fair to me. So Ryan Gerard, fantastic stuff for him. Gains a stroke per round in hellish conditions for him. If you're taking a look at what he's got up to here before, 15th place finish here in 2025. So not like he doesn't know what to get around this golf course with. I've got a bit of a lisp going on here today. Mike Tyson would be quite proud of your boy. So let's see what Ryan Gerard can get up to for us. I think that's very fair numbers. We're betting the top 5 as well with plus 860 to make sure that we are taking advantage of what he's been up to in the top 5 market the last couple of whiles. So Ryan Gerard, boom, pop him in there, 50-1. Check it out. He's going to be ridiculously owned at $8,600. It may be someone we land up fading in DFS depending on where we go. We'll chat about that at the end of the show. Moving along forward, we've spoken about Marco Penge and a lot of best ball stuff. He is 60-61 with 6 places each way to win this golf tournament. Why do we like Marco Penge? Because if we go over to the micro model, and I understand that he's got very limited sample size, but if we just find the micro model ranking, he, where's Penge? I think I might have manipulated a couple things. So let's just pull up his stuff here. Man, I was rolling there for a second. I was in God mode. Marco Penge, why doesn't he have a micro ranking? That's a great question, Byron. Oh, it's because we were silly bee. Okay, here we go. We're going to fix this right now. 181 needs to be the actual number. And then it just goes like that. Beautiful. So we're going to get Penge back to the top like I knew he was. Okay. There we go. Micro model rankings now coming in hot and heavy. Marco Penge up top. Not going to hit a lot of fairways, but he's 13th in the field in driving distance. He's fantastic from 200 plus. Fantastic. In his 28 shots that he's had from 200 plus, I understand it's a very small sample size, but it's too good to pass up. If we go check at his profile, like where I get all the data from, why is it not letting me search? Fun times. Okay. We'll leave that alone. Whatever. Screw Data Golf. They don't know what they're getting up to for us. They're providing us with nothing right now. But Marco Penge, fantastic. Just believe me. When he's got a 200 plus shot in his hand, Buddy can hit a 2-iron from a million miles away and land it like a butterfly with soft feet. Shout out Mark Immelman. So he's going to be crushing on this golf course. I've been waiting to play him this week. I am glad he is playing this tournament. I do hope that he's healthy. I'd imagine he wouldn't play if he wasn't. He might be rusty. I don't know, but I don't want to miss out. This is a FOMO type situation. The number is also big enough that I can take on the risk of him being sick, whatever. Also, PXG is now his new sponsor. Not the greatest company to have sponsored a guy with 190 mile per hour ball speed. You're looking at a finely tuned specimen there, friends. And as a result, you need to make sure that you are getting the best technology, the best equipment in your hands to hit a golf ball as far as he does. And now PXG, nobody makes golf clubs as bad as they do, sweetheart. So make sure that you are watching that because it's a problem. So Marco Penge, though, ultra talented. If you take a look at what his stats look like on the DP World Tour, he was winning 12% of the time. 12% of the time. That is scintillating stuff. I mean, he's top 5 rated in top, and his win rate's almost the same, which is bananas. So that's Marco Penge's case. 9% ownership. I think the more people realize he might be a little sick, PXG blah, 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 might go down $7,700. But even 10%, give it to me. Give it to me. He could be a slate breaker. I mean, this guy's fantastic. He's a winner. He's looking forward to succeeding on the PGA Tour. He's only been playing golf for a year. He got suspended for gambling. Remember? So he's got to be going. 6 places, 60-61, Marco Penge, all the way from the DP World Tour. Moving on up. Next guy, Samuel Stevens, 55-1. If we take a peek at driving distance, let's go take a look here. Maybe we can just find Sam Stevens by doing driving distance. Maybe not. I might be completely wrong. But here are your driving distance juggernauts for you guys. All over here. Sam Stevens not nearly where I thought he would be. Again, another embarrassing moment for the God mode, yeah. Okay, Stevens. Boom. Hasn't won yet in the last 12 months. It is what it is. Makes cuts at a ridiculous rate at 82%. We have got finishes at this golf course, at the Farmers. I need to go put Genesis in as well because I forgot about that. But if you're taking a look at what he's got up to at the Farmers competition in the last little while, we got a 13th place and a 2nd in 2023 and 2025, a 43rd in 2024. Not terrible either, for a bad week out. Moving over to what he's been up to lately, 31st at the Sony, can't say that's a great course fit for him. And then taking a look at the Amex, he finished 6th last week. That's fantastic to me. Nice to see that he has got some good form coming in. Hellish conditions are his 2nd best golf course, gains 0.4 strokes over there. 37th in the field in strokes gained off the tee. At this venue, his approach play doesn't necessarily matter that much because he seems to have just navigated his rounds at this golf course perfectly fine. So micro model not quite checking the boxes there, but the South course is his gem. I mean, look at what he's got up to on the South course. A 2.4 strokes gained. If we go to the course rotations, I'm assuming he'll be very much at the top of the board, yeah. On the South side of things. Yeah, where are we? 2.4, Sam Stevens. I mean, that's impressive. It's the 5th best. It's the 5th best South course strokes gained on this golf course in the field. So he's got it all at this venue. I mean, look at what he did in the final round here. I mean, he typically goes, every single time he's playing, he's gaining like over 3 strokes at least once a round. So gaining 7 strokes in the final round last year, whoo, Like that a lot. So, and I want to just double check. Oh, God damn. Connection timed out. Let's see. Stevens. If we're taking a look at what he got up to at the Genesis, that's a Scottish. We're looking for. Look how much golf he played last year. He was the leading point scorer in PGA Best Ball, by the way. Genesis Invitational, with all the big guys, he finished 31st, whatever. Like I prefer him at the Farmers anyway because the field's a little weaker. It's a good opportunity for him to break through. We don't necessarily have him graded out that well. We kind of glomming onto a 6th place finish here at the Amex and a solid course history at this venue. So the model's not going to really take that into account that much because the course fit's not the greatest. So that's kind of how you can navigate this. If Sam Stevens is going to be 15% owned, maybe you can leave him alone in the DFS world. Now we'd have to fade multiple people, but that's what we can chat about later. Moving along next, we have got a name that's often frowned upon, and his name is Patrick Rodgers. And Patrick Rodgers, let's just pull up all 3 Patricks here because why not? Patrick Rodgers, I think, is going to definitely take care of some business this week. If we take a look at what he's been up to, at this golf course, he finished 56th here last year in the Farmers, whatever, but did finish 3rd at the Genesis a couple weeks later. Makes a lot of sense. Then the year before, in 2024, he finished 9th. So that's good to see. And then this 3rd place at the Sony is very important because when you take a look at what Patrick Rodgers has done on his PGA Tour career in the last 12 seasons, not one time has he finished top 10 back-to-back starts, which he did at the Sony and the RSM. Then he missed the cut at the Bermuda and then finished top 7, I believe, again the week before that at the WWT. So we are looking at 3 top 7 finishes in his last 5 starts. At the Amex, he's played atrociously there, but we bet him anyway because we saw that form popping up pretty quick. A 44th at the Amex is what he does all the time. So let's take a gamble on him this week. He's got immense distance. Let's take a look at the course fit here. Driving distance for him, 29th in the field. Patrick Rodgers used to be top 10 in the world in driving distance. Boys are coming to town now. We've got a lot of youngsters hitting it a long way. So he's pretty solid when it comes to that. Off the tee, he's going to be gaining a lot of strokes, and he's been putting quite nicely lately too. So we'll see what he can get up to on some POA surfaces for us this week. As you can see in 2026, we're starting to see some pop. So I like that a lot. Love him on the North Course if he's finding him in round 1 showdown or round 1 leader. What does he get up to in round 1 for not necessarily the greatest round 1 leader guy? Kind of slow starts, as you can see. Perfect. You can see that DNA of this golfer. Doesn't quite get off over the last 12 months. Loses strokes in round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4 gets progressively better. So fun times there. This is why we bet Patrick Cantley to be round 3 leader, because he was the best strokes gain history at La Quinta and gains 1.7 strokes in round 3. So if Patrick Cantley makes it to Saturday and he's not necessarily way up the leaderboard, we've got another shot at him. Especially won't be playing the North Course though. It is what it is. So back to Patrick Rodgers. Let's see what he can do for us. It's been a bloodbath for him over the last decade. Maybe he breaks through with us on him this year. Patrick Rodgers for you, friends. Next up, Sahith Theegala, 100-1, top 5, 15-1. Sahith Theegala is a California native. He is a fantastic putter of the golf ball. He hits his driver quite nicely when it is fired up. Got middle of the pack driving distance. Off the tee numbers, pretty bad after last season. But what we do know is he had a really bad season last year. At the Sony, he finished 31st. Can't say the Sony is the greatest venue for someone trying to find what Sahith is. He's kind of wild off the tee, where I think this golf course makes a lot of sense. Then the Amex, he finished 8th. Backdoored an 8th place finish at the stadium course on Sunday. Played great golf. We'll see what Sahith can do for us. He's got fantastic history at this golf course too. Prior to losing his game, he finished 4th and 25th in 2023 and 2022 at this venue. So there's like way more course history here for him to be very excited about than there should be for a 100-1 option. He is a PGA Tour winner. That win came in California at the Pro Core on POA. Here is Sahith Theegala putting nicely at the Amex, going to a POA venue. So that's kind of what you're seeing from Sahith Theegala. As you can see, it's been a whole year since he's had a top 5. It's been bad. But 100 to 1 at a golf course that we got a top 5 at in the last 3 years, I'll take it. I think he's found some form the last little while. We'll just take the top 5, to be honest with you. Let's take a look at the chat, see what's cooking over here. You guys are busy over here. What is it about Spawn? We've spoken about that. Spawn's height, definitely a factor. I think that's so too. He plays well in crappy conditions. Personally, I would like to see him play a tournament on the PGA Tour with the new bag, but the reason is practically flawless. He was close to making my... What were we talking about, Jet TMC? My brother. What's up, TC? Brian asking, I'll be playing Marco in DFS. Most of the guys I fade on my bet card. I add, exactly. You bet the chalk, and then you play the leverage spots in DFS, right? That's kind of how we go about it. Some other stuff, yeah. These guys are so good they can play with almost any brand, though. Yeah. But I think PXG probably paid them a lot of money. To do it. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Quick little sip of water here before we get to a couple final bets, and then we can do some deep dives. Okie dokie, Smokey. Next up for us, after speaking about Sahith Theegala there for how long? Let's go to Hao Tong Lee this week. 100 to 1 to win the golf tournament. If you take a look at what Hao Tong did at the Amex, we have got ourselves a top 10 finish because Hao Tong Lee is a very good golfer. He finished top 10 on the DP World Tour 34% of the time. And that top 10 also includes the top 10 at the Amex last week when he finished 8th. So shout out to Hao Tong Lee for chopping up Tom Hoagie's top 10 there with his own top 10. 55th at the Sony, it is what it is. We'll see how that all goes down. But overall, this top 10 number for Hao Tong Lee is bananas. And as you can see, it just checked another box this week. So Hao Tong Lee in the top 10 market, if you're not in the mood to bet him outright, I don't know what the odds would be, but at plus 1,500 for a top 5, I'd probably imagine it's like 8 to 1, 7, 6 to 1, somewhere there for a top 10. Go check it out. It makes a ton of sense. It should be, I don't know what the odds are for 33%. I don't know what that is. 10% is what, 1,000-ish? So somewhere at the 7, yeah, it makes it. Whatever. Go check it out. Top 10 market, 34% cash rate over there for Hao Tong Lee. Now, what's the most exciting part about his game? Hellish conditions on the DP World Tour. 1.9 strokes gained on the field when conditions are over par. He just finished 8th at the Amex where conditions were under par by a significant margin. Scotty Scheffler almost shot 30 under par. The guys were playing the stadium course 20 under par after 3 rounds. 22 under par. So Hao Tong managing to get himself inside the top 10 there was impressive. I think he's got a better chance to take care of some stuff around this golf course. Just a very well-rounded game. Bad putter, whatever. Putting can come and go. You never know what the hell happens there. He hits lots of greens in regulation. That potentially could be the reason why his putting is not the greatest, because you could be putting from further away, you make those putts less, blah, blah, blah. You know how that goes. So playing great in 2026. He has not played this golf course, I don't think, before. And he's typically pretty solid in round 1, 2, and 3. But again, these metrics don't mean anything to a golfer sometimes because he soared up the leaderboard on Sunday, despite having a very bad round 4 strokes gained. Now, I wonder if we could probably go check this out at some point. What are those round 4 strokes gained taking a ding from? Has he been in the mix? Has it been under pressure where he's kind of ejected? Who knows? But what we do know, ridiculous top 10 rate, hellish conditions, well-rounded game, top 10 before this week, 100 to 1 for a golfer like that? Let's go. He also won on the DP World Tour last year. So he knows how to win a golf tournament, and he's professed that it's hard as shit to win. That's exactly a quote for him on the DP, I think after he won a DP World Tour tournament a while ago. Hao Tong Lee, ladies and gentlemen, 100 to 1 and 15 to 1 for a top 5. Next up, we're going to be rocking and rolling with our final bet of the evening / afternoon, wherever I may find you. His name's Aldrich Potgieter, and if you know me, you know that we'd be going to Aldrich because he's one of the longest drivers. He is the longest driver in golf right now. I think he is number one on the PGA Tour ahead of Rory McIlroy. So we get to a golf course where Aldrich can absolutely take care of business off the tee. If we take a look at what he did at the Farmers last year, it was bananas, man. He went to the Farmers and look at what he did off the tee. He gained 1.75 strokes off the tee. Off the tee. That's 3.5 strokes every two. That's 7 strokes. Gained 7 strokes off the tee. That's like unheard of. That's like elite of the elite. So can putt well when he putts well. The around the green game we all know is pretty poor. But again, I think he's a better bunker player than he is like chipping because of how his hand is. And because of how his hand is on the club face. Nothing wrong with his hand. It's just it's like a very strong grip. So that can cause some issues for whatever. I'm not getting into the fundamentals of chipping on this show as we're speaking about Aldrich, but we know that he's got good course history. This T15 was a third place entering the final round. We had him at like 450 to 1, laddered his ass all the way, contemplating laddering him still to just kind of get that upside and baseline at this golf course. But again, he is a DP World, a PXG victim. Signed with PXG. He's also in the 190 mile per hour ball speed realm. Did not see him eclipse that last week at the DP. Why do I keep saying DP? At the Amex. He did, however, I think lead the field in driving distance. So in the one round he did play, which is still pretty good. So we'll see how that happens. But again, the irons could be a problem for him with the PXG clubs. Who the hell knows? Played quite nicely at the Alfred Dunhill a while ago. Number one in this field for driving distance. Hits a lot of green regulations. Let's see what happens with Aldrich. Very good long iron player as well. So that's it for us for the outrights. Now we've got a couple placement bets that we're going to be rocking and rolling with. And if we go over to this tool, go back over here, and you just click the Farmers, you can see the best bets at this venue over the last little while. Tony Finau has returned you $316 in the top 10 market at the Farmers the last 3 years. He has cashed that bet 4 of 6 times. The odds for those bets were between even money and plus 250. This week, he's 1,000, a plus 1,000 to finish top 10 because Tony Finau has been playing like total crap the last little while. So we won't really mention Tony Finau. We're going to be chatting about Taylor Pendrith instead because Taylor Pendrith is going to be our top 20 bet this week at plus 175. Love those numbers. We've had similar numbers in the past for TP. And I think we're going to be wiping the bookie's ass with this man. And we're using this tool to do so. So sign up to the Model Maniac Patreon. Use code FARM26 for 50% off your first month. Thank you for your support. So in this field, Taylor Pendrith, one of the better bets we've seen. If we take a look at what Taylor Pendrith just does in general, let's go over to his page over here and see what Pendrith's top 20 numbers look like if you're just betting him blindly throughout his career. You are up. Sorry, in 2026 you are up. And throughout his career, throughout Taylor Pendrith's career, if you've bet him top 20 every single time he's played to win $100, Taylor Pendrith would have cashed you back $520. That's not too shabby. So we're going to take a look at what he's got up to in the last couple of years. Just the last 2 years, it's actually been quite a problem for him. We are struggling to make top 20s, but I think this is not really doing us much justice because we've got 2 top 20s in the last 3 starts for TP. And then if we go find Taylor Pendrith, we've got really, the course history here, right? So we just saw that for the top 20 bets, one of the best bets you could have made at this venue. It's just really impressive. 16th, 9th, and 7th are 3 of his last 4 starts at the Farmers. A 6th place at the Sony. Playing some solid golf. You know, I wouldn't say that he's an Amex guy. Also the Amex, whatever. If you missed the cut at the Amex, I'm not too worried about it. So We'll see what Taylor Pendrith can get up to. Gains 0.6 strokes per round in hellish conditions, 1 stroke per round in hard conditions. So 17th in the field in driving distance, going to be top 15 in green regulation rates, 23rd in the micro model. He's 18th overall, 19th overall. So top 20. Let's go. Plus 175. Should have had this up for you guys already, but rather late than never. Here's Taylor Pendrith for you to go forward and bet. That is, I believe, at BetMGM. They have the best numbers out there at the moment. I think there's a plus 150 elsewhere for you guys. So, as you can see, Taylor Pendrith makes a lot of sense, plays great golf on both venues. Typically, lots to like about him. Chalk play, 17% owned. Going to be a one-and-done darling for a lot of people. Not me. I'm going to be betting him top 20. That's where we're going. Leaving him in DFS. The upside is not there for this man. Take a look at this top 5 rate. It's quite poor. And if you kind of just go to the DK pricing here, you can see that. DK pricing. Taylor Pendrith, where are you? Okay, yeah. Let's take a look at his peers within $1,000 worth of his salary. This column, everyone above him, apart from Hideki Matsuyama, has worse top 5 rates. And Xander, I guess. Another problem there. But you see what I'm saying. So Taylor Pendrith doesn't typically top 5 much. And I believe he won the CJ Cup, Byron Nelson, just because he didn't choke as bad as Ben Coles. You know, like he should never have won that golf tournament. He struggles to like really pull through when it matters. So I'm not going to be betting him to win this tournament. We're just going to be betting him to have a really good, solid performance like he typically does. I mean, it's been top 20 in 1 in every 3 starts for him the last little while. So at this golf course, I like his chances even more. Let's go Taylor Pendrith. Adam Scott, next up. We're going to be talking about this man as the most elite average golfer there is out there. Adam Scott, top 40 minus 120 at Bet Rivers. That's where we'll be finding that number. It's going to be dead heated. But if we sort by top 40 rates in this field, Xander Schauffele, Patrick Cantley, Hideki Matsuyama, JJ Spahn, Marco Penge, Adam Scott. Adam Scott finding himself inside the top 40 72% of the time. You know, when you're seeing that kind of number, Penge, Spahn, Cantley even, their top 10 rates are like 31%, 24%, whatever. Adam Scott's top 10 rate, 8%. Not good. You know, like he's also a lacking upside kind of guy. He's just a veteran going out there grinding, basically just trying to play the weekend because that's what he likes to do. He plays the weekend 88% of the time. He makes cuts like a savage, but does not play like a savage because he's old. I don't know. But if you're taking a look at what Adam Scott's got up to at this golf course, in 2021, he played the Farmers, finished 10th. It makes a lot of sense. From a course fit perspective, he's 26th in the model, by the way. Total model ranking, 26th for you guys. 24th at the Amex and 40th at the Sony. Shockers, right? So there we go. It's checking boxes already early. Hard conditions, hellish conditions, he's fine. Hard conditions, ideal for him. Not going to split hairs about like half a stroke of scoring average, but it's nice to look at buckets like Marco's, yeah. Typically, more difficult courses gains a whole stroke more than the less difficult courses. You know, that's how you kind of navigate this. You kind of clump them together, see a pattern, do your thing. So back to Adam Scott. Doesn't check a single box for us of these, obviously, but he's just outside all of them. If you take a look at like the hellish conditions, it's fine. 30th in the field for a freaking 48-year-old, 47-year-old. The PGA Tour champions are shaking in their moccasins because he's coming for them with 190, 186 mile per hour ball speed on the Champions Tour. So maybe he falls off by the time that happens, but off the tee, he's fantastic. 5th in the field in strokes gained there. That's going to give him, that's the thing. A great driver of the golf ball gives you a solid floor because you're not hitting behind the trees, none of that stuff. Not the greatest iron play in the world, but he's going to be hitting from the fairway or a relatively solid option out the rough pretty much every single time because he's just a very good driver of the ball. Can't chip or putts, which typically stops you from winning golf tournaments and finishing inside the top 10. So this is the Adam Scott philosophy here. A top 40 at minus 120. We are going hard at the paint there. Let's see what we can find out with Adam Scott. By the way, I think for the Taylor Pendrith bet, I think we bet to win 2 units on Taylor Pendrith. I should have put that in there too. To win 2 units, Taylor Pendrith plus 175. Taylor's paid in full over at BetMGM. So that's what's cooking with Adam Scott. Anything else we want to see from this man as we cruise through here? Solid on the south, solid on the north, all that jazz, blah. He's typically very, very, whoops, I'm looking at the wrong name. It's a Sunday problem for Adam. Loses 0.3 strokes on Sundays. He just goes backwards. So if he's sitting 15th on going into Sunday, don't count that top 40 as a bet, because he could go full JT Poston, start 9th at the Amex going into Sunday and finish 38th and have a 3.9 unit swing. Last week went from being profitable to losing money because JT Poston made 1 birdie all day and multiple bogeys. I think it was one of the worst rounds of the day. It was a bad break. So could have had a profitable week, didn't. It is what it is. The process is there. Things were looking good. Let's go. Adam Scott. We are Gucci when it comes to top 40s for him. All right. Diving into some DFS. Let's pull up the pricing. If you want, hit me up in the chat. Any names you in the mood to have me deep dive, I will put my snorkel on and find that fish for you. Let's go. Happy hunting, friends. So as always, what are we filtered by here? Nothing. Now we filtered by delight. So taking a look at model rankings, Xander Schauffele obviously checking all the boxes. 5 boxes this week. He is a name checker, a box checker, a game wrecker, whatever you want to say. Hasn't played yet this year. Not a great North Course guy. If you take a look at his North Course history in the course rotations, like Xander Schauffele, I think shows up quite quickly on the south side, but he's like 133rd or something in, 132nd in North Course scoring when you use his strokes gain jazz. Not been good. And I think we know North Course is what matters. If you can go super low on that North Course and just hold serve on the south, that's what wins you these tournaments. And as a result, Xander's situation for the recent finishes at this venue, 2nd in 21, 34th in 22, 13th in 23, and then 9th in 2024. So what did he do at the Genesis? I don't think he played necessarily that great either. It definitely wasn't a top 5 because he was just returning from the injury that he had with his ribs. So I could have gone just to Xander's name, but he didn't even play. He didn't play. Duh. He was still injured. It's early in the season, Byron. Get it together. Okay. Moving along. I'm out on Xander. I just don't. He finished 0 at the Amex, by the way. So fun stuff for him at that golf course. But Ludwig. Next up, WD from the Amex. What are we going to do with that? I don't trust him to be healthy. Seems like it takes a while for him to get his shit together. He was sick this time last year, withdrew. So, if you're going to give me issues there, you're going to give me issues there. But again, his model ranking for me is only 15th in this field. I know that doesn't make any sense, but there are better names to play than him, like Jason Day, JJ Spawn, Hideki Matsuyama. So there are names that you like. There are names that you don't. We're going to be finding them as we dive through these player for DFS today. Ludwig, I'm out on. Patrick Cantley, I'm out on. I mean, the top 5 rate is like ultra backdoory. I think he finished 5th here at the Genesis last year, but is never like 56th in 2024. It makes a lot of sense for him to play well. Yeah, he's a good driver of the golf ball. But if you take a look at what Patrick Cantley does the best, it's easy and medium. It's easy and medium scoring conditions where he gains 1.2 and 1.9 strokes on the field. It falls all the way down to 0.6 and 0.4 for hellish and hard conditions. So Patrick Cantley at this venue, 37th in the model ranking. I'm out. I'm out, Bob. Just doesn't check the boxes we're looking for here. I mean, he's 2 boxes checked. He's the 3rd most expensive option in the field. So can't do that. Same thing for Cameron Young. Typically doesn't thrive in these hard and hellish conditions. Very good putter of the golf ball. As you can see, his driving distance is top 16 in the field, and his putting is top 16 in the field. So he's got all of that going. In fact, driving distance, putting, and strokes gained off the tee are all top 30 in this field. He's outside the top 80 in green regulation rates and strokes gained approach for this golf course. If we take a look at what Cameron Young's situation is, now maybe the iron play has found a bit of a groove, but ultimately, if you filter by strokes gained from like 100 to 150, that should find Cameron Young popping up a little sooner than, yes, there we go. I'm going to also just do this quickly. If not so quickly, view, freeze, up to 2 rows. There we go. Now we can see what's going on here. Cameron Young, let's color his name over here. If we are looking at his profile, 49th out of all golfers in the world that Data Golf has in the database there for the last year, he's 49th. Doesn't need a lot of green regulations, blah, blah, blah. From 200 plus, he's outside the top 200. Do we have something that we can find for this man that helps us see that we've seen some approach play numbers get better? Pro Core Championship. I mean, the approach numbers here look good. Wyndham Championship is, what is the profile there for the Wyndham? 150 to 175, heavy wedge fest. Not a lot of long irons, obviously. If you take a look at the FedEx St. Jude, by the way, he won the Wyndham. Shout out that. FedEx St. Jude Championship, if you take a look at that profile, 150 to 175, a lot of shots coming from there, relatively slightly above average wedge ranges, not a lot of shots coming from 225 and out. Okay, seeing the pattern here. Here's Cameron Young, 5th. If we take a look at Tour Championship, what's Eastlake got to do? Again, a lack of 250 and out, but a lot more from 200 to 250. Where's Cameron Young? There he is over here, and he gained a lot with the irons at that event. So that's promising. Okay. And then I think the Pro Core is another situation where, yeah, not a lot of 200 to 200 plus, a lot of wedges, makes sense. Cameron Young, T9, just played some great golf, putting fantastically. Iron play found the grooves off the tee numbers, good stuff. So there's a chance he could do some stuff. There's a chance he could do some work. There's a chance that, you know what, so, but I don't know. We're going to monitor some ownership, but he's 21% owned. It's tough for me to get there. Same situation with Jason Day. I think we're going to have to try and play him, though. You can't not play everybody because of ownership. And Jason Day is number 4th in the model. He's hard and hellish conditions. He thrives in those environments because he's number 1 in the field in strokes gained around the green at this golf course, and he's number 5 in putting. The reason he's going to be number 1, and that could change at different courses. I'm not just using strokes gained around the green for everybody at every venue. We are using strokes gained around the green for this golf course generated off of Jason Day's actual play at this venue. Because if we're taking a look at Jason Day's green regulation rates, it's only 54th in the field. He doesn't come in from close. He's 104th on average approach distance, because the driver for him is 104th. Obviously, the driving distance and the approach distance are going to be the exact same number. And as a result of that, we're outside the top 100 in distance, which is not good. So you're leaning heavily on your short game. And if you're missing a lot of greens and you're a good chipper, good around the greens, you're going to be gaining strokes in serious amounts. Like, the more likely you are to miss a green, the more strokes gained around the green I'm going to provide a golfer. Comprende? So around the green, he's just gaining 0.3 strokes on the field per round. It obviously that's average. It could be way better moving forward on a day-by-day basis. So this is his general profile. As you see, the short irons from 100 to 125, 150, a lot better. Anything outside of 150, he's typically struggling. From 200 and beyond, it's not good. It's also neutral. The biggest issue for him is from 150 to 150 The biggest issue for him is from 150 to 200 on approach, proximity buckets. There we go. Congratulations, Byron. You said it. We'll see what he can do. It's going to be very reliant on short game. That can fail you quite quickly. I don't think I'm going to be going to him for one and done. Speaking of, let's go to the one and done tool. Let's see what's going on over here. Okay. This is where we were looking, and I had this kind of pre-scheduled already. Farmers Insurance Open. Hideki Matsuyama is going to be my one and done pick. Why do we have negatives in here? Interesting. Okay. These are the best one and done plays that you can. Okay. These are guys that. What? This happened the last time. I've been shuffling stuff around in the model, and now it's all messed up. Anyway, let's just take a look at Hideki Matsuyama's stuff. If we go over to the farmers, it's this you want to be lower. The closer this is to one, the best ranking. These are rankings. These aren't strokes gained or anything. You aren't gaining 157 strokes on the field. This is Hideki Matsuyama's outside of the US Open. This is where we're going to be playing Hideki Matsuyama. It's his best venue historically. And what this tool does is it uses the average rank of these two metrics. So we've got the weighted strokes gained over here for each event for the last couple of years. That's going to pop up. Then we're going to rank those versus other golfers playing their course, over the history of this event. So if we take a look at Hideki Matsuyama at the Farmers, it's the third best strokes gained at that venue of everyone that's played there in the past, So if you're taking a look at that way, Tony Finau and Jon Rahm are the only two ahead of him when it comes to the Farmers. Now, when we go over to the next chunk of rankings, how does he compare to his own schedule? Because we know that he's third best on Farmers, but the strokes gained on the Farmers course, is that an optimal amount of strokes gained compared to other venues where he could gain more strokes? You don't want to be using the guy at the wrong venue just because he's good there, kind of thing. We are nuanced here and nitpicking, but this is the art of one and dones. So taking a look at the Farmers, he then checks out, as we saw here, the US Open being his best metric on this calendar. I just don't trust him in majors right now at all, but the Farmers is a great alternative, in my opinion, to go after Hideki Matsuyama. If we take a look at what he's been up to the last little while at the Farmers, it is 32nd, 13th, 9th, and 30th. I mean, that's just... Are we going to be getting upside from this guy? Any given week he could win. We obviously know that. The Hero and the Century were 2 wins. They were his only top 10s. Only an 11% top 10 rate in the last couple months. This is finish rates in 2026 as well now. I have that updated since yesterday. So Hideki Matsuyama, am I just going to not get cute and just carry on playing him? I think that's what we got to do. So I'm going to be going to Hideki Matsuyama this week at the Farmers. Hopefully he can win this damn thing somehow, or just finish second to a guy that we have winning. I don't know. Whatever happens. Do you put a one and done in play that you don't have an outright on? Does that make any sense? Yeah. Let's not look at this in isolation. I don't know. I think he's a sneaky option. By the way, let's pull up Hideki Matsuyama's US Open because it's quite an interesting. I want to show you. He's got one of the best iron plays ever at any venue in the history of an event. If you take a look at the US Open, Okay, Masters, Torrey Pines, we don't want that stuff. We just want US Open. Take a look at these metrics here, friends, on approach at US Opens. It's like it's his venue. He's missed one cut at the US Open in 2016. He's got a second place, a fourth, and a sixth at this golf event. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them are 21st or better. Top 20s all day, US Open. Click his name. So Hideki Matsuyama, I mean, the worst approach performance Hideki Matsuyama's had in the strokes gained era since 2019 at a US Open was 5.2 strokes gained on approach. That's very impressive. So typically misses a lot of, I guess, the off the tee numbers for him. How are they historically? Yeah, he kind of struggles at the US Opens off the tee. So makes sense that his approach numbers will be better because he's coming out the rough. You can gain more strokes on approach out the rough if you can be a good rough player. And I think Hideki Matsuyama is very good out of the rough. So we'll see what Hideki Matsuyama can do. In fact, we can go double check. I'm just having a fun time diving down wormholes here. The chat's dried up, so now I'm going on my own route. If you guys need to direct me, direct me. Strokes gained out the rough from 150 and out, the best guys in this field. Where's Hideki? All the way down here, 75th. Okay. Better long iron play out of the fairway than out of the rough. So got to make sure we are looking at that. But fun stuff over there. Also, moving along. Wow, we got stuck. Got stuck in the middle of that range there. We'll be playing JJ Spahn as well, like in a lot of lineups. At 14% owned, $9,400, we get him $1,000 cheaper than Xander. We get him almost 10% less owned. Go, baby. Come on, JJ. Bring it home for us. This is what we're looking for from you. So I'm probably going to just keep JJ in about as many lineups as I have this week. The price is too fair. The ownership is leverage. And I think he's going to win a lot of golf tournaments this year. So I want to be on him. I'll also be playing with, if we go by boxes over here, okay? Let's go the last 3 boxes. We want to check guys that have checked 4 boxes, guys that have checked 5, and guys that have checked 6. We're going to sort by color. The color we're looking for is blue. Sort by color, fill color, text color, blue. Boom. These are the guys that have checked 4 boxes. Ludwig, J-Day, Siwu, Knapp, Higo, RNP, Rasmus Nygård Peterson. Then we're going to sort by pink. Sort by color, text color, magenta. Xander, Decky, English, Mav, Norin, Penge. 5 boxes. Then we're going to sort by color, black, which has got a green background because that's what Back 9 Bets and the Model Maniac, that's our signature color. And when you check 6 of 6 boxes at a venue and you are $9,200 and you are 10% owned, there's a good chance I just also plug him in with JJ. JJ Keegan. Start like that. Build balanced. Party on from there. Keegan Bradley, the boxes he checks, he's obviously going to do a lot. I mean, this top 20 rate here is bananas. That also includes the Hero. It also includes Tour Championship. So I'm still working on figuring out how to get those out of the system. But whatever, still pretty good. If you take a look at his course history, yeah, almost won it in 2023. Finished second. If you take a look at what he gets up to in hard conditions, he gains 1.3 strokes on the field. It's the best split he has of the various conditions. So love that for him. If you take a look at the model ranking, he's 7th in the field. There's nothing worse in his game at this golf course than his driving distance, which is 51st in the field. Everything else is better than that. 42nd in fairway percentages, 42nd in strokes gained off the tee, 37th in green regulate. It almost gets better as you're getting down the strokes gained here. 3rd around the green, 25th on approach, and then the putting is solid, 24th over there. So you can get it going. The last couple, right around Ryder Cup time, womp womp, no good. But he was driving the living piss out of it at the Sony, and then completely just sucked it up on the par threes, I think, which was not good for us at all. I mean, look at what he was doing here. He was driving it fantastically, which is perfect for this golf. Like, if you can drive it well around Torrey, that's great. So the irons were letting him down. He couldn't chip and putt, which is whatever. First week back, it is what it is. Hopefully Keegan can bounce back. Yeah, I've got good feelings about it going forward for us. So Keegan Bradley, the only guy to check all 6 boxes this week. Back to our DraftKings pricing sorted. Yeah. So yes, if you can tell me that I can play the 2 guys that are 14th and 2nd in my model at 14% and 10%, and they're in the $9,000 range with multiple other people with 21% ownerships, give me these 2 guys. Absolutely. I'm all about it. Let's party with these dudes. Probably more fun to party with Keegan than JJ Spahn, to be honest with you. And then maybe that's why Spahn's ownership is so low. But it is what it is. All right. Moving along. Harris English is the defending champion. I'll probably be playing him as well. $9,100, 13% owned. This is a venue that he won last year. Obviously, 27th at the Amex. Started finding his groove. If we take a look at how he fits this course, the hellish conditions are his jam. 1.2 strokes gained in hellish conditions. None of his other splits eclipse 1. So, as you can see here, 0.2 strokes gained on easy conditions. He's not a putting fest guy. So maybe the North course is a bit of a problem. If you're in the mood to get exposure to Harris English, maybe we play him in Showdown. I'm curious as to, this makes... He's actually played the North course better than he has the South historically, which is quite surprising. But I do think from an overall perspective, it makes a lot of sense for him succeeding on the South course because of how good he is when he comes to chipping and putting. Exceptional stuff. He hits a lot of green regulations, doesn't hit it close, but hits him a lot, which is good around you. You don't want to be chipping and putting for par. You want to just be 2-putting for par. Walk off that course with a 2-putt every single time is what you want to do. Here, Harris English, let's go. Chris Gotterup, I mean, makes a lot of sense. Let's just go Harris English instead of Chris Gotterup. Or we're going to just go JJ Spahn and Keegan instead of Chris Gotterup. 19% owned. He was our guy we had at the Sony. Cashed our first outright of the year. But I don't know what to make of this man here. North course, obviously, he's thrived at minimal, obviously, opportunities. He's got 2 starts here. So that's just 2 rounds of golf. 25th and 50th. Tons of distance off the tee, but very inconsistent, as you can see. 10% top 5 rate only for Chris Gotterup. So you're not getting much safety. And considering I'm not playing too many lineups, this is where we're going to be looking at. Harris English, top 5, 16% of the time. If we take a look at Keegan Bradley, top 5, 9% of the time. But again, top 10ing a lot, 26% of the time. So that's fine by me for the guys we've played. Ryan Gerard, $8,600, probably going to be 20+% owned. Are the wheels going to fall off? We don't know, but we can just bet him. Bet him top 10, bet him top 5, bet him to win, and then see what happens with 20% ownership. If he completely implodes, we lose our bets, but have only 80% of the field to go against over the weekend. If he doesn't, then we're in trouble, but our bets are cashing. So that's the world we want to live in. That's how we want to live our life. Let's go. When we're taking a look at other names in this range, Willie Z is someone that I think is going to be quite popular in the last 12 months, and 2026 hasn't had a top 10 yet. So not good there. He's got fantastic course history here. But if we go over to Data Golf quickly, and we can see, okay, Will Zalatoris and his overall profile. Career summary, look at this. The driving distance, when did he start getting injured? Right around 2023. Started dialing it back. 2024 was gaining 3 yards on the field after gaining 13 in 2023. So following year, 3 yards on the field. This year, he's losing yardage to the field. He's played twice, Amex and the Nedbank, and lost distance in both instances. So I don't know what to make of that. If we go and check the farmers for Willie Z, I'm assuming we're going to see like monster distances here. So one of his worst finishes, which is the 13th in 2024, he actually gained an accuracy, for the first time ever playing this tournament. So that's what you're getting from Will Zalatoris this week. The driving distance ain't going to be there for you, and that's what can really help you get a good running start to first or second base at this golf course. So let's go. Leave him alone. I'm not going with easy. If we take a look at other names here, Maverick McNeely is someone I'm going to be going to. The course history is nothing but outside top 30, but he did almost win the Genesis Invitational, which makes a lot of sense. Mav finished 24th at the Sony. Good course, good form coming into the week. If you take a look at his top 5 rate, Maverick McNeely just randomly pops off, finishes top 5 whenever. Once every 5 starts. Like, that's nice. So he is a high leverage option at $8,900. He gives you immense upside. He is not nearly as safe as anyone else around him. Like looking at these top 20 rates, he's one of the worst in this price range behind Willie Z, but one of the best top 5 rates. So you're getting like a very volatile guy, which I'm cool with. Like, let's go. If you're going to be giving me like GPP winning upside at $8,900 and you're a great pivot off of Chris Gotterup, I'm cool with that. So let's see what happens with that one. Alex Noren, 6% owned at $8,400. He WD'd from did he WD from the Amex or did he miss the cut? Oh, why do I keep typing in Amex? Yeah, his name is Noren. Alex, not Amex. Alex. Also, the chat has died. Are you guys okay? It's been like half an hour since you've said anything. Is everything okay? Hello? Alex Noren, second place finish in 2018. Missed the cut. Okay, so it wasn't a WD, is what it is. Last couple starts, fantastic form. Just missed by one shot at the American Express. I don't know. I mean, it's not a great course fit, but the model ranking at 6%, I mean, how can you not? I mean, if that's the case, look at his strokes gained in hellish conditions, 1.3 strokes. When you have to scramble, do your thing, he is ultra consistent with the putter. His short game around the greens is great, and he hits a lot of fairways. There we go. Okay, good. You're just mesmerized by my voice, Justa. Beautiful. Man, this chat is ultra complimentary. I really appreciate all of you. I really do. Thank you. The compliments that have come through has been phenomenal. So throw Alex Noren in one of your throw him in one of your 5 lineups, Byron. That's what we're going to be doing with Alex Noren. He checks 5 boxes of the 6. Like at 6% owned, it's almost 1% per box. It should be like 4% per box, in my opinion. Jake Knapp, $8,200, 17% owned. Makes too much sense. If you take a look at the South Course history, 1.7 strokes gained at this golf course. He's finished 3rd and 32nd at the venue and then finished 11th at the Sony. So there's some good form, good course history, great course fit. Makes a lot of sense why he's going to be $8,200. Max Homa is going to be 14% by him as well. Winner of this event back in the past, 27th at the Amex this year. What are we doing in the $8,000 range? I don't know. But if you take a look at this clump over here, there's a lot of ownership collecting in the 8s. I think Kenny was mentioning the 9s are dead. I'm cool living in the 9s, potentially 2 or 3 names, and then almost skipping the 7s. I'll probably throw an Alex Noren in one. I'll take a Marco Pinch, Garrick Higo, in the $7,000 range. Let's go. I think Pearson Coody makes a lot of sense. I'll put one Justin Rose in my lineups to see what he can do and break my heart only just 1/5 of the time now versus all of them last week, or 4 of them, 3 of them, whatever. He screwed us. Rasmus Niergaard Peterson, 6% owned, $7,400, 19th at the Dubai Invitational, 45th at the Dubai Classic. We are looking at somebody that's 22nd in my model, 6% owned, nuke city off the tee, difficult scoring conditions. He's one of the best in the field. Checks 4 boxes for us. He is going to be doing some good stuff in hitting green and regulation rates. But again, these are all very minimal data points for these DP World Tour guys. So we got to kind of bear that in mind. go from there. See what's cooking. How does he look from a splits perspective? He typically just gets better and better as the week goes along. So if you're looking to get some exposure to RNP, Rasmus Niergaard Peterson, the way to go about that is potentially waiting on him or playing him in showdown as the week unfolds. Don't get cute, though. Just enjoy his profile if you're in the mood for that. Should we bet him top 10? Little top 20, top 10 ladder? I mean, this is a ridiculous top 20 rate on the DP World Tour for RNP. One day he's going to be above Rasmus when you search for him over here. Look at this. Look at what he's been up to, guys. Look at all these green squares. Maybe he shits the bed. Maybe he doesn't when he gets to the PGA Tour. But he won the Australian Open, 3rd at the DP World Tour Championship, 5th at the Open de España, 8th at Omega Masters. I mean, and I'm just glossing over 19th, 20th, 23rd, 13th, 16th, 14th, 12th. Got off to a hot start to begin the year as well. I mean, sheepers, creepers. This guy is like, oh, I'm getting excited just thinking about his name, and at 6% ownership, that's the case. I'm in a lot. I like that a lot. Going to really, we love the foreigners on the show. So we're going to be taking a peek at these guys going for us here. Very affordable, 6% owned. Love the upside. Let's take a quick peek and see if we can find, let's just see what the bets are on him for a top 10 and a top 15 for ourselves. We've got 3 Rasmuses, but the first one we see is a 70-1 Rasmus Niergaard Peterson, 10-1 for a top 5 and plus 500 for a top 10. I love the plus 500 top 10. I love what is this? Around Gerard plus 350 for a top 10 as well. Is something else we've clicked. If we go take a look at the top finish, including ties over here, let's go Rasmus and find him. Plus 230 for a top 20 that he was doing basically half of his starts on the DP World Tour. Let's go. I'm in. So I'm not going to bet this right now. I'm going to be shopping around a little bit for the best number out there. But absolutely, if it is plus 230, that is the best number, I'm going to be betting the top 10 and top 5 on Rasmus Niergaard Peterson today. So that just makes too much sense in my opinion. Christopher Wrighton would be someone I'd be thrilled about as well. Boy, you don't just show up to Hawaii and shoot 15 over par. I went and looked at his shot length data just to try and figure out, okay, was it one big hole? Was it one big number? Day one, he made a triple on 10 or 1. I think he nuked one out of town. And then it's just bogey, 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 bogey on day 2. Just missing 4-footers, missing 5-footers, like on repeat. It was really bad. This guy's finished inside the top 5 on the DP World Tour 28% of the time. He's finished inside the top 10 31% of the time. So for him, he's just like a top 5 bet because when he pops hard for a top 5 and wins. But again, like, what the hell happened in Hawaii, man? That was a massively concerning situation. I might play him at 3% in one lineup because if we just ignore the Sony, Wrighton is like, again, another guy that's just got like incredible upside. Look at this DP World Tour track record here. 3rd, 6th, 5th. Like, let's go. Distance in abundance. And not because of a lack of accuracy. Very, very good driver of the golf ball. So there's not a lot of OB at this golf course. You can't be doing that. You just miss it at the side that doesn't. And the 90-acre rule applies basically on every single hole at this golf course. So 90-acre rule, if you got 90 acres of golf course to your right-hand side, hit it there. Don't be hitting it into the road on the left-hand side over there. 90-acre rule. Okay. So back to the 7K range. Haotong Lee, 8% owned. It's okay. We're going to just go Haotong, probably grab a top 10 as well on him. I mean, that's when your top 10 rate and your top 20 rate is basically the same. It means that when you're playing well, you're playing well. So I'm down he's basically simultaneously finishing inside the top 10 when he's finishing top 20. So a top 10 bet on him is something we'll be looking at as well. Then we just leave him an 8% alone at $7,300. Maybe put one lineup. I don't know. Interesting stuff there. Other names that we kind of in the mood for. Andrew Novak, having played so well here, doesn't check any boxes, which is kind of absurd to think about. We've got the Zurich win there for him. Top 5 rates. I mean, he pops hard. I mean, but 7% ownership is an issue. Patrick Rogers at 11% ownership. Whew, don't know if we're in the mood for that. So, yes, stuff can go weird for you. Lee Hodges, 3%. Got that 9th year last year. Got the 6th at the Sony. Top 10s, 19% of the time. Lee Hodges does hard courses the best of any. Very, very nice there. Great approach play around this venue, likely because he's a very good long iron player. 30th in the model ranking. Love that. If we take a look at the splits for Lee, South Course is his guy. Obviously, if you take a look at the easy scoring, I guess it doesn't correlate as perfectly as the 0.7 he's lost at the North. It is what it is. If we take a look at his splits, I'll probably be playing Lee Hodges if he is on the South side for first round leader over there. Let's take a quick peek at course rotations for Mr. Hodges. Okay, yes. So 72nd in the field for Lee Hodges when it comes to Torrey Pines South. There's a 3.2 strokes gained in 2022, which was very bad. But if you just take his 3 best performances at this golf course, we are averaging like 4.2 strokes per round. If you take the 3 worst ones, we're like averaging 1.5 strokes under losing strokes. But that's not what matters. We just want the pop from Lee in round 1. Do we have another Lee all the way down here? Yep, we do. 4.6 strokes lost. Lying to you, I'm lying. Here's the North course for Lee. 3 of his rounds in the 4 on the North course have been losing strokes. It's just not vibing on that venue. So Lee Hodges, absolutely a South course darling. Absolutely a South course showdown, first round leader type situation. Let's go. 2 minutes left, people. Get your questions in if you're in the mood for that. Okay. Austin Smotherman played quite nicely, 4% owned, model ranking only 101st. But we have got a good finish at the Amex. 8th place finish over there for him. Hellish conditions on the Corn Ferry Tour, 1.7 strokes gained. If we go over to the difficulty stuff, course conditions. I've got so many tools here, I can't even remember what I'm clicking. Where is my course difficulty? There we go. If we were we chatting about? The ADD is kicked in. Hard. Smotherman. Okay. Course difficulty. Find Austin Smotherman. There we go. He's got 18 rounds of hellish conditions, so a decent amount of sample size-ish. Not great, but we'll take what we can. And he's played fantastic golf in those conditions, like really good. So Austin Smotherman is someone that you definitely want to take a peek at going into your DFS lineups and things like that. Cool. Austin Smotherman. Definitely going to take a peek at him. In his limited data, he's number 1 in the approach on this field. Don't count that with too much. Tom Hoagie, not going to be looking at him here this week. Course history is not there, even though we've got a 40th and an 8th at the Sony and Amex. Nice. Plays hellish conditions, the best of all of them, surprisingly, last year. Great iron player, as we know, but we're not going to be going there either. We'll have to play one Adrian Sarrier, who averaged 2.1 strokes on the DP World Tour, which is like ridiculous, in 31 rounds. I mean, that's not like an outlier situation. 31 rounds of golf, you're gaining 2.1 strokes per round is very, very good. So BMAX saying, what's up, bro? What's up, dude? How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Any other names in the 6K range that we kind of taking a peek at down here? Luke List, obviously, defending champ, good stuff, but kind of fallen off the last little while. Hank Lebioda is someone that I'm interested in just because I got a soft spot for him and the hard conditions are his jam. So maybe one lineup with him in there. Zach Bacho. That's a bad pronunciation there. Definitely someone that could get going here. 13th at the freaking Amex. Did make the cut at the Sony as well. So 2 for 2 there. Top 20 rates on the KFT 37% of the time. Good stuff. Interesting name to kind of keep in mind at this golf course is Adam Schenk. I think I'll be playing at least one lineup with him. 20th, 25th, and 25th in his last 3 appearances at the Farmers. He's $6,200 and nobody wants to own him. There's less percentage points next to his name than hands on the putter grip. And that can be, at times, only 1. So let's go, Adam Schenk. At this golf course, if you can give me a 6,200 guy that I'll even take a top 40 or a made cut from this guy because everybody else is going to be doing what we want. AJ Ewert and Peter Malnati are 2 other guys that check at least 1 box. Peter Malnati, similar kind of course history to Adam Schenk. Completely forgot his name. But the last 2 times he's missed the cut. So it is what it is. California courses for Pete. Very good. Loves his stuff out there. Take a gamble and put him in one lineup at 6,000. I understand. I understand that there's concern, but he's got a good chance to just get through. But I think he's also been playing really bad lately. Malnati. Last couple starts, missed the 2 cuts to begin the year. That's okay. Nothing of them were in California, like so to speak. Again, how did he lose at the Farmers? He missed the stroke by 1 shot in 2025, like a fraction. And then in 2024 at the Farmers, he missed by half a stroke again. So like, it's not like it's all got to do with short game. And that's only 1 round of golf you're going to be seeing there. So, Skinny Pete, let's see what he can do. Awesome stuff, friends. 1 hour 32 in the books. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Yeah, work hours is where we're going to be going live now because Mini Maniac gets home at right about now. So it's going to be fun to just hang out with her, have a good time, and see her grow up. And also just getting you guys content sooner. So also less drinking involved on the shows too. So new sponsor coming next week. Lots of fun stuff for fantasy and this show, to say the least. Looking forward to that with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we'll see you guys. Don't forget, this is the new time, 3 Eastern. It's a weird time. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I change it if it's not going great. But the chat seemed pretty solid to begin until everyone had to go home. Maybe I don't know. Catch it on replay, whatever. Love you all. Catch you guys soon. Peace.